We need to talk about Caitlin Clark. Let's you and me talk about Caitlin Clark since you refuse to talk about Caitlin Clark. And I care deeply about you. I spent over a decade in your marketing organization. I spent several years trying to get into your organization. And it's been 3 years since I left your company. I'm just here as a friend. I care about you. I want to show you two different charts here. One, your stock price since 2021. It is down nearly 60%. Your executives and the people who are making these decisions, their stock options are worthless. Meanwhile, you have the single biggest needle mover in all of American sports since Michael Jordan, and you have somehow convinced yourself that you need to slow.
Caitlin Clark's Nike deal had fans picturing her diving into piles of cash like Scrooge McDuck. But hold up, an ex-Nike insider just dropped a bombshell, and suddenly it's looking less like just do it, and more like just got done dirty. Was her contract a slam dunk or a slick steal going the other way? Buckle up. This behind-the-scenes reveal will have you questioning every swoosh you see. And spoiler, the truth isn't laced up in any limited edition kicks.
All right, black and white sports supporters. Well, something very interesting happened. Caitlin Clark's agent has issued a statement, put some comments out there while speaking at this Breaking Barriers Summit that they're having, I guess, by way of front office sports. Now, I made a video the other day because I got to looking around, and much to my surprise, I mean, even I thought Nike would have put something out the other day that was either pumping up or firing us up regarding Caitlin Clark's return to Iowa City. They didn't put out shit. Nike basketball or Nike. Nothing on social media.
Somewhere in a corporate boardroom thick with recycled air and even staler ideas, a Nike exec probably stared at a pie chart, nodded solemnly, and declared, "Let's launch another shoe. Just not for Caitlin Clark." Brilliant, right? And just like that, another chapter in the ever-growing playbook of marketing misfires was born.
Trend search traffic for 4 female basketball players. There is one who only rivals Caitlin Clark, and that is Angel Reese, and you do not have her. She is over at Reebok. I am so confused as to how you would be so invested in the WNBA for several years, and you have been doing great work to try to elevate and uplift that league and many of the athletes there. But this seems like you have convinced yourself that this needs to be an either-or conversation, and we never have an either-or conversation.
Let's be real. Caitlin Clark isn't just elite, and she's not just generational. She's the Beyoncé of women's basketball. Everything she touches turns iconic. She's the meteor that didn't just light up the court. She scorched the blueprint, rewrote the narrative, and still had the swagger to pull up from the logo, while others were still learning how to dribble without face planting.
Came out. Caitlin Clark voted on by general managers, the best point guard, the best shooting guard, and the singular player they would start the franchise with. In the weird, insular WNBA, this has been a real struggle. You know the truth. And there's these people who are fans of indie bands, international soccer, and the WNBA. They have this gatekeeping mentality. We'll tell you who's great. Colin, I was watching the WNBA long before Caitlin Clark. Well, yeah, it's not my problem your social life was boring. I'm not going to apologize for watching it when it got really interesting. She's packing now larger arenas.
So, what does Nike, the self-proclaimed sneaker god of athletic endorsements, do with this once-in-a-generation icon of a player? They squint at her brilliance like they forgot their glasses and respond with a resounding shrug. No iconic campaign. No billion-dollar she is the moment rollout. Not even a moody commercial with a slow piano and a whispered voiceover. Just a whole lot of meh. Like she's a reliable sub on a U8 rec team. Not the most electrifying force to hit women's sports in decades.
Okay, so this is the article that he was talking about. I have just a piece of it. He was basically asking a question and then answering it, right? So it says, is it because Nike is too woke? He said, perhaps, but I think it's paralysis by analysis. I also think that inside the bubble, you can't see clearly. When you're too close to the business, sometimes you don't appreciate what's going on in the wider circle of the...
Meanwhile, just down the hall in Nike's brand department, probably next to the How We Fumbled Simone Biles file, they're hard at work crafting a signature shoe for Angel Reese. Yes, that Angel Reese. The one whose most viral moment was a taunt, not a title. While her team was getting blown out like a $2 candle in a Chicago windstorm, she was still managing to trend. And apparently, at Nike, that's enough. Taunt, trend, take the L, and boom. Here's your shoe deal, and maybe even a fruit basket to go with it.
Guys, tomorrow we are going to get a Kobe Protro, apparently. I haven't heard much about it. It's going to be $190. Very few people will be able to get it, and that will be about a year after you have signed her and after she won Rookie of the Year. This is so confusing to me. I am so perplexed.
It's almost ridiculous. Caitlin Clark breaks Kelsey Plum's all-time scoring record, reshapes what a guard can be, warps defenses, and draws TV ratings higher than most NBA games. You'd think Nike would take notice and treat her accordingly, not like she's some undrafted rookie asking for free gear. But instead, they fumble the bag completely. Honestly, Caitlin should have ditched Nike faster than her release on a contested three. Pause the contract, let Adidas, Puma, or even Skechers fight for her. New Balance would build her a shrine. Adidas would rename a whole department. Puma might just rebrand entirely. She's that level.
Get it twisted. Don't get it fucked up. Caitlin Clark is the reason why a lot of great things is going to happen for the WNBA.
Yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that.
She said it's not just one person, it's both of us. Angels team, right in Chicago. And their attendance, 6,000, 6,000, 12,000, 9,000, 8,000, 8,000, and then 17,000. Whoa, why was it 17,000? Who she played? Who you think she played?
Nike looked at the most electrifying college player in years and said, let's wait. Maybe the hype fades. That's like turning down Beyoncé to sponsor the backup harmonica guy at a local jazz show. Caitlin Clark is the moment, and Nike's treating her like a maybe. She filled every arena, turned Iowa into primetime TV, dropped 40 on top teams like it was nothing, hit logo threes, lived on SportsCenter, and basically got the WNBA back on network TV. Grandmas are watching again. Toddlers are yelling Caitlin while shooting laundry. And Nike's worried about pastel warm-ups for someone else.
Obviously, Nike have screwed Caitlin Clark. Nike have screwed Caitlin Clark, and this is the first topic I want to talk about live on stream. But Nike have absolutely screwed Caitlin.
Nike didn't even pretend to care. No early rollout, no Super Bowl ad, no viral campaign of kids mimicking buzzer beaters. Meanwhile, Angel Reese gets a stylist, a photo shoot, and a shoe that looks like it came out of Candy Factory. Caitlin Clark? Just silence, like she signed an endorsement with Blockbuster's Ghost. And she's not hiding. She is the spotlight. Media chases her like she's Taylor Swift. She's got poise, presence, and she dominates on the court like it's effortless. This is the kind of athlete brands dream about. But Nike? They'd rather drop socks for the arena DJ. Maybe pure talent and marketability aren't enough anymore. Maybe you have to throw a tantrum or flex after a 30-point loss to get noticed.
Now, you would think with this being such a big game for Caitlin, her returning to her alumni in Iowa, and her hitting that massive logo three during the game, that some of her sponsors would want to show her support on social media, do any sort of marketing to uplift her and uplift their brand. And one who did do that was Gatorade. They tweeted a photo of her and they said, "Real home court advantage. Welcome back to Iowa, Caitlin Clark." Now, one of her lead sponsors that was noticeably quiet yesterday was Nike. And a lot of people were tweeting about this. They were wondering, why isn't Nike and Nike basketball, why are none of their accounts saying anything about this? Yes.
Caitlin Clark doesn't need Nike. Nike needs her. The fact that this even needs saying shows how out of touch they've become. This isn't the Jordan era. You can't coast on legacy while ignoring the biggest name in the game. She was a layup, wide open, and Nike still missed. It's not just disrespectful, it's bad business. Caitlin could sell ice to a snowman. If she signed with New Balance, they'd be the top sneaker brand in 48 hours. People don't follow shoes anymore. They follow stars. And right now, Caitlin Clark is the star. Give her a clean shoe, a logo with fire behind a shooting hand, and a launch with her signature pull-up. Instant sellout. That's the Caitlin Clark effect.
Absolute gold when they signed Caitlin Clark to an 8-year, $28 million endorsement deal. So why in the world are they ignoring?
I done seen in my entire life. It don't make no sense. See, the problem Nike is this. Nike, you, other endorsement companies, other coaches, other GMs, you guys don't dictate to us who the face of the league is. The consumer does that. The viewer does that. That's who does that. And the viewers and the consumers are telling you that
Caitlin Clark has become the face of the WNBA, and not by corporate design, but by overwhelming fan support, TV ratings, and record-breaking performances. Yet, as she continues to dominate headlines, sell out arenas, and rack up viral highlights like her recent 36-foot Logo 3 in Iowa, one of her biggest sponsors,